Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat. Welcome to the temple. We begin our service singing together Ma Yafe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. And I would like to invite now Ram and Yaniv and Yarden and Eitan to come for the baby naming.
Yay!
And you all should have a copy of the baby naming there. And we say to you, Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir, a new light is lit.
May you live to see the world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition and your words be filled with insight. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue. And your vision be a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of the holy words, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the holy ancient of old.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להכניסו בברית אבות ואימהות. Blessed are you, eternal one, whose power fills the universe, who makes us holy through commandments, and who commands us to bring our son into the covenant of our ancestors.
And can I have Eitan?
Little bean.
So we say, חיים שאלנו מאת אדוני, נפש חדשה ניתנה בקרבנו. ברוך אשר לא עזב את חסדו, מאת יניב ומאת רם, ובטובו הגדול הוסיף חיים למשפחתם. הקדוש ברוך הוא יחזק את האם היולדת, ויברך את בנם של יניב ורם שנולד במזל טוב, ויקרא שמו בישראל איתן בן יניב ורם. ישימהו אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה, שמחה להוריו וברכה לכל עמו, ויגדל לתורה, לחופה ולמעשים טובים, ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
We asked for life and God placed new soul among us. Blessed is God who has not withdrawn favor from Yaniv and Ram, and in great goodness has given new life to their family. May the Holy Blessed One strengthen the mother and bless the son of Yaniv and Ram, who was born in good fortune. His name shall be called in Israel Eitan, the son of Yaniv and Ram. May God make him like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and may he be a joy to his parents and a blessing to all his people. May his life be enriched by the blessing of Torah, Chuppah, and good deeds. And let us all say together,
Amen.
Amen. And we sing together, Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Say to you, Eitan ben Yaniv Ram, Yevarchecha Adonai veYishmerecha. May Adonai guard you and bless you and be with you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha veYechuneka. May God's face shine upon you, and may God always deal graciously with you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha veYasem lecha shalom. May God grant you the most important blessing of all, the blessing of shalom, of peace and wholeness and wellness. And let us say together, Amen. So Yarden was here 2 years ago?
Yes.
So is that a deal every 2 years you guys?
Nicely done.
Thank
you so much.
Took me a week to think of this.
Thank you so much.
We have gifts for you. The most important thing I forgot. Should I give to Diana?
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of certificates, important ones.
Thank you.
And there's a baby Torah, maybe more fitting for Yarden now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we continue on page 172 as we sing together Matovu. And we rise as we turn to page 195 for the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארו חסלה. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. And we read together, the world is sunlight restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes. More welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them. You redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch Ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. And we turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema. Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And these words
turn now to page 204 to sing together Mi Chamocha. We rise as we turn to page 205 for the tefillah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth.
Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring near the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace.
Baruch ata Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. And we read together, you are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכינו, ומושיענו הוא
all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Turn to page 216 for the prayer for shalom, for peace and wellness and wholeness. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom.
Tova uveracha
take a moment for a silent prayer. Turn now to page 253 for the Mishe Berach, the prayer for healing and courage and strength. We think in our hearts about those we know that need courage and strength and healing. We think especially this week on those who are hurt by the mass killing, the mass shooting downtown Louisville, the families of the ones who are wounded and those who are struggling with those wounds, as we sing together Mishe Berach. We turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah LeShabbat, the order of reading from the Torah on Shabbat on page 244. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Agidura, Yagidura, Yagidura.
book of Leviticus in a Torah portion called Shmini, meaning the 8th day. He talks about the dedication of the tabernacle of the sanctuary in the desert, and it ends with a whole chapter that brings the longest list that we have in the entire Bible of which animals are we allowed to eat and which not. The laws, what we call today the laws of kashrut, the dietary laws. So there's a very long list of which land animals are kosher and which are not, which crawling things are not kosher actually, because the crawling things are not kosher, and then which fish is kosher and which is not, and which birds are kosher and which is not. To some of them there are rules, so even if a new animal will come all of a sudden, we'll know if it's kosher or not. And to some of them, when it comes to birds, for instance, it's just a list of what is kosher and what is not kosher. If a new kind of birds is invented, and I guess it's off our limits then, because it's not in the kosher list. Usually we say that there is no logic in the laws of kashrut. It's one of the things that God told us so. It's like I told you so. There's even a famous Rabbi Eliezer the Great, who says, don't say that eating pork is not something that you yearn to. Don't say that pork is bad for you. But what can you do? God told us not to eat. So usually we say there is no logic, and all those people who are trying to say to you that some animals are clean and some are not, if tomorrow morning pork will be discovered as the healthiest and cleanest meat that there is, it's still not kosher according to our tradition. So there is no logic whatsoever. It's just whether you buy into it or not buy into it, you decide to obey all the laws or not. And one last thing that I want to say before we read an attempt in the Torah to put some logic into it, and maybe we'll look at it, is if you're an observant Jew, and I don't observe personally the laws of kashrut, so I'm not to be the judge of that, but if you're an observant Jew that observes the law of kashrut, somehow without noticing, that becomes your biggest religious observance, because food is really important. We all know that. And we eat 3 times a day, and deciding, especially if you live in a place like Louisville, Kentucky, that actually keeping kosher is not easy nor cheap, it becomes the most excessive and the most important part of your religious life altogether. And observant Jews, Orthodox Jews, more traditional Jews, they don't even notice that, but that becomes the biggest thing in their lives. People decide where to travel and where not to according to the laws of kashrut, and if they accept that law of that kashrut place is kosher or not. People can keep relationship. My mother-in-law refused to eat in our house because whatever we did was not kosher enough for her. It's not a unique story. Those things happen all the time. It becomes the biggest thing in your life, and this is the source. So we'll look at one thing as we do the reading, but first let's go to page 250 for the blessing before reading from the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai נותן התורה. אמן.
וכל השרץ השורץ על הארץ שקץ הוא, לא יאכל. כל הולך על גחון וכל הולך על 4, עד כל מרבה רגליים. לכל השרץ השורץ על הארץ לא תאכלום, כי שקץ הם. אל תשקצו את נפשותיכם בכל השרץ השורץ, ולא תטמעו בהם ונטמאתם בם. כי אני אדוני אלוהיכם והתקדשתם והייתם קדושים, כי קדוש אני, ולא תטמאו את נפשותיכם בכל השרץ הרומץ על הארץ, כי אני אדוני המעלה אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, והייתם קדושים, כי קדוש אני. And the translation is like this. All the things that swarm upon the earth are an abomination. They shall not be eaten. You shall not eat among all things those swarm upon the earth, anything that crawls on its belly, or anything that walks on four, or anything that has many legs, for they are an abomination. You shall not draw abomination upon yourselves through anything that swarms. You shall not make yourself impure therewith, and thus become impure. For I, Adonai, am your God. You shall sanctify yourself, and be holy, for I am holy. You shall not make yourself impure through any swarming thing that moves upon the earth. For I, Adonai, am the one who brought you up from the land of Egypt to be your God, and you shall be holy, from I am holy. So that's the end of the list. We already had the list. This is the bottom line, kind of the conclusion. And it seems almost like a pyramid there in those last verses that kind of are dealing with the why. Why should we eat kosher? And there are 3 negatives and 2 positives. So the negatives is don't make yourself impure through those things that are an abomination. Don't make your souls impure, and that repeat 3 times. And the positive things is make yourself holy, sanctify yourself, because I am Adonai your God, am holy, and you shall be holy because I am holy. So we have 2 imageries that are there. There is sacredness, and there is the opposite of sacredness, the opposite of holiness, which is becoming impure. And apparently through food you can become sacred and sanctify yourself, or you can become the opposite. You can make yourself impure. And when you think about that, you know, an abomination or impure doesn't sound that great, and making yourself holy sounds like a very special thing in our relationship with God. And in the Torah and in the Bible in general, eating and food is a spiritual act. You bring sacrifices to Adonai to the temple, and through eating them, you overcome your impurities and you become pure again. Through eating the special fruits of the sabbatical year, you become holy again. Through not eating on Yom Kippur, you become sacred again. Food is not just a simple thing of do and not do, like the dietary laws, like the laws of kashrut sound. It's not just this narrow Jewish law, Jewish halacha things, but all of a sudden we see that the Torah is trying to say to us that eating certain food and restraining yourself from certain other foods is a condition of standing before God and sanctifying yourself. And there's an attempt to try to rationalize or to make sense of something that looks totally senseless to us, something that looks to us like an I told you so you should just follow it. So apparently there's much more into it, and that's the way of us to get closer to Adonai and to sanctify our day-to-day life. Let's say the blessing after reading from the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Please rise, everyone.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe, b'yad Moshe. Al pi Moshe Lifnei Bnei Israel.
And we turn now to page 283 for the Aleinu. Please join me as we read together in the middle of page 283. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Please be seated. We turn to page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Jose Maza, Henry Berg Brousseau, David Sean Bailey, Evelyn Levy, Carol Margulis, Margaret Mosezon, Alan Planck, Sylvia Weingarten, Loretta Goldstein, Rick Haskell, Leonard Marks, Marcus Breyer, Kenneth Grossman, Gladys Fleischaker-Meyer, Benjamin Mosier, Julia Penso, Thelma Weiss, Gudman Tasman, Richard Uslander, Carl N. Bazi Victor Jr., Felix Weingarten, Michael Harry Brody, Libby Price, Miriam Weinstein, Irma Bloom, M. Carl Fink Sr., Bess Stiebel, Jim Gold, Lily Harry Steinhardt, Richard Harvey, Louis Katz, David L. Prussian, Resi Voss, and in recent days, Howard Levine. And for recent acts of terror in downtown Louisville, Tommy Elliott, Jim Tatt, Josh Berrick, Juliana Farmer, Diana Eckeret. And for recent acts of terror in Israel, Maya D., Rina D., Lucy D., and Alessandro Parini. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memory of our loved ones in our hearts, we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימלוך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is עושה שלום.
Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazal Tov to Eitan and to Yaniv and Ram and Diana. And please say Shabbat Shalom to someone that you have not met before. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.